What if I told you there's a map out there? A map that charts a course from your uncle's wild Facebook posts all the way to, get this, hidden continents beyond Antarctica. Well, today we're diving headfirst into one of the internet's most fascinating creations, the conspiracy iceberg. We're going to start at the surface and go all the way down. Oh, you know exactly how it goes, right? You click on one little link, then another, and bam, it's 3 in the morning and you're suddenly a world expert on something you hadn't even heard of an hour ago. We've all been there. Well, what we're about to explore is basically a master map for those rabbit holes. It's a chart that tries to organize the fringes of belief, and it's going to take us from stuff you've probably heard of to ideas that will make you question, well, pretty much everything. Okay. First up, let's wade into the shallows. This is the very tip of the iceberg. These are the ideas that are so common, they're just floating right there on the surface of mainstream culture. You've definitely heard of these, even if you just kind of roll your eyes at them. So, what exactly is a conspiracy iceberg? It's really just a brilliant visual metaphor. Like a real iceberg, you only see about 10% of it. The other 90% is hitting down below. This chart does the same thing with theories, ranking them by how well known they are. And trust me, the deeper you go, the weirder it gets. This is our map for today's journey. So right at the top, we find a classic term, sheeple. It's a cornerstone of this world, right? The idea that most people are just mindlessly following the flock, believing whatever the news tells them. But it's more than just an insult. It's a foundational belief. It's the answer to the big question. If all these conspiracies are true, why doesn't everyone see it? Well, because they're sheep. And this is where you see how deep these ideas can go, pulling from all of history. The phrase bread and circuses comes straight out of ancient Rome. It was a strategy, right? Distract the population with free food and gladiator games. The theory today? Nothing has changed. Celebrity drama, reality TV, big-time sports, it's all just the modern version, designed to keep our eyes off of what's really going on behind the curtain. All right, take a deep breath. We are officially leaving the sunny, familiar surface, and we're descending into the twilight zone of the iceberg. This is where things start to shift from simple social theories to the paranormal, to lost history, and, well, the just plain strange. And this is where it gets really fun. Just look at the mix here. You've got everything from Skinwalker Ranch, this supposed hotbed of UFOs and paranormal activity, to the Amber Room, which was a real, priceless treasure that actually did vanish during World War II. It's this blend of documented mysteries, classic urban legends like sewer gators, and pure myth like El Dorado that really defines this middle section. This is where the line between fact and fiction gets seriously blurry. Now check this out. FEMA camps. The official story is they're set up to help people after a disaster, like a hurricane. Simple enough. But the theory, it twists that into something way, way darker, that these are actually fully equipped detention centers just sitting there waiting for the government to declare martial law. This is a perfect mid-level theory. It takes something real and just grafts this hidden, sinister purpose right onto it. Okay, we are now in the deep, the dark, the crushing pressure of the abyss. The theories down here don't just question events or history anymore. Oh no, they question the very nature of our world and reality itself. Just let that one sink in for a second. We're not talking about secret government plots anymore. We're talking about ideas that challenge the literal shape of our world. So the theory goes something like this. Antarctica isn't a continent at the bottom of the globe. It's a massive circular ice wall that surrounds the world we know. And if you could get past that wall, there are whole other continents out there, maybe even other civilizations. The idea is that every single government on Earth is in on this massive secret, hiding the true size of our world to keep us all contained. And this is the most incredible part. After this entire journey, the source material for this whole iceberg lets you in on a little secret. This isn't just a list. It's a creative writing project. It's actually a map to a fictional universe where every single one of these theories is true, from the sheeple at the top all the way down to the hidden lands beyond the ice. Mind-blowing, right? So now that we know this secret, that this is all part of a grand imagined world, let's come back up for air for a second and ask the really big question. Why? Why do we do this? Why create these unbelievably detailed maps of the strange, the forbidden, the weird? What is the appeal? Seriously, what drives this? Is it just a game, a search for some kind of hidden truth? Or is it maybe a way to try and make sense of a world that feels more chaotic every day? You know, the motivation for creating and exploring these things is almost as fascinating as the theories themselves. When you start to look at it that way, the iceberg becomes so much more than a list of strange ideas. It's a cultural artifact. It's literally a map of our collective fears, our anxieties about control, the unknown, and who's really in charge. It shows our incredible, deeply human need to find patterns, to connect the dots, to create one single grand story, even if it's a scary one, out of what feels like a random and complex world. In a way, this is the new folklore. And that's really what I want to leave you with. After diving into a world of sewer gators and secret camps and continents beyond an ice wall, maybe the biggest mystery isn't what's hiding out there in the shadows. Maybe the real mystery is what these incredible, elaborate stories tell us about what's hiding inside of us.